Wish for a peace. Wish for a dream. Wish for love. You are gone without saying goodbye. Stormy sky, I can still see the light you say, and I think of you tonight. Soon the dawn will come again. What have I got? What has it cost me? Within me, out of space, here and there. Tell me, please, how much we have to leave when we'll get the land of dreams. After lonely bitter days. Now I can still see the light you say, and I think of you tonight. Soon the dawn will come again. But what have I got? What has it cost me? Why can't I still see the light you say, though you are now out of sight? Soon the dawn will come again. But what have I got? What has it cost me?
Welcome back, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Anyway. Alright. Leg rest, you gotta go back. Much as I love this chair, the leg rest is not so good. I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. Chair needs to get wiped out. Jesus. I need to really clean my chair more. Dusty. I hate cleaning, but we do. Yeah, unfortunately, I gotta lift this up. So we're doing more Hunter Boost stuff, so we're doing more Hunter Boost Road stuff, so keep in mind. I'm probably gonna be doing this for a little bit, who knows. Full screen my Streamlabs. I'm wearing green, so I'm with the I am one with the game. I am in it. I am the game. I'm the background. Ugh, smells like chair dust. Figure out how to fix that stutter issue. Hey, I'm trying to do things! Come here, you. You need to be brought down. There you go. Drop charts. Back here. There, that should be better. I mean, you probably can barely read my mag. That's irrelevant information. That's really for me to know, not so much. You know, it's not really a big importance unless you're playing the game yourself. It just basically tells me my mag stats, the timer, what color it is, and what mag it is. Sorry for most of my stream schedule being just PSO the rest of the days. Today is actually PSO day. Don't worry. Demon Souls will be tomorrow. PSO will probably be afterward. Depends how long I play that for. I may do a bit more Demon Souls. Who knows? And I may just do PSO for the rest of the week until tomorrow and Saturday. Tomorrow I'm doing Demon Souls and Saturday is Eternal Darkness. I may just not do Red Dead tomorrow. We'll see. But then after that I'm continuing my normal schedule. It's just I got in the mood. PSO will be a big thing and will be still, you know, played, if not most likely, on Wednesdays and after any other stream. Borderlands 3 will be more than just Sunday. I just gotta get back into the mood for it. As much as I love Borderlands, I wasn't the most hyped for 3. I mean, I was waiting for it, but I'm more hyped for other. I was more hyped for. I'm more hyped for Dragon Ball Kakarot. I was more hyped for Devil May Cry 5 and stuff like that. And ever since PSO2 has been announced, a lot of things are just like, I don't give a f anymore. PSO2 is fine. Doesn't mean I'm not excited. It's just... If it wasn't for my friend telling me to give it a try and actually seeing it for myself, I guarantee you I would never have played it. Same with Left 4 Dead. Even then, Left 4 Dead's a game that you really should play. It's not great by itself. I've only played Left 4 Dead a few times by myself, and I don't really care for it. By myself. The only time I really did was I was trying to get some shit. Anyway, welcome everybody, whoever's joining this stream. Too bad I can't use it anymore. Except for HP and TP mats, which TP mats are like, I think, the rarest one for me? I don't know why. I don't know if it's just the rarest for me or the rarest in general, because I rarely find those, along with luck, but I've been finding quite a few luck materials, and apparently when I check the amount of materials I use a lot more luck than I thought, hence why my luck is 32. That goes up to 100, so I wouldn't mind that. Too bad I won't be able to up it until I get units that up every stat, because I'm not going to put on luck units. Fuck that. I'd rather invest my time in other stats. Or silver. Actually, I prefer silver. Grasshopper, you still make a weird noise, as you were originally with a weird bear thing. They may have reskinned you. I don't know how they go from weird bear things to turtles and a grasshopper. Or a praying mantis. Enemies that have multiple types eventually evolve into some more dark. Wait, I have a very itchy back, thanks. I can't move. Why am I dropping so many frames? Or not frames, but why am I stuttering here and there? Why am I losing frames? What if it doesn't matter to you? I like how I'm trying to grab it off of Streamlabs. 55. Okay. Let's start beating some other areas then. Catch those up to 55. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the caves memorized. Well, at least in the terms of where I gotta go. I don't want to take any unnecessary padding. Slowly getting this wrapped down. Gotta hit this button and then I go through this door and then I'm in the halfway point. Beep, beep, beep. Wow, I realize I'm not, my mic is not really picking me up as best as I thought from being right here. Milk beef. Milk toast. Milk and toast. Milk. Milk and toast. Hi, rare pull. Again with the non-rare drop, you fuck. What's with that? It's 2 rare flowers I've seen, not today, but just in general, the past week. This past week. Motherfucking hell. And that was the first rare monster today. Getting kind of tired of that, you rare butt scratcher. I'm kind of just going off autopilot, to be honest. Yeah, and you can tell. Oh yeah. Because I went the wrong way. I went up. Why? Whatever, experience. I wouldn't have encountered that rare flower otherwise, so... Hey, if he would have dropped me what he should have dropped me, I wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. But, fuck that thing. You can go kiss my anus. Yeah, okay. Sorry, parts of the map just confuse me sometimes. It's my brain, to be honest. My brain. It never worked. I might as well just not have one. Why do you both miss me? Hit that light, bring the switch into your life. Dude, can you do other things, please? I'm trying to kill all these guys. I constantly have to get frozen. The enemy's health or defenses are a little bit better. And I just wish they would die just as fast. That's all. I just wish this was faster. I mean, it didn't take me that long to get my forest up to nearly 60, which I made a mistake and I did one at normal, which is why I have 1 extra point. So I'm probably going to have to do forest and then try to like do it on an easier mode to even it out. See, this is why I don't want you to keep freezing. Stop! It's annoying. I don't want to break out of ice just for you to freeze me again. Cool, cool, cool. Can we not show the scene of the door of it shaking? Can you just open? Oh, you guys just... Oh my god, I hate that menu. I wish I could change the button for me to bring up my quick menu. I wish I could change it from the R1, you know, that and the camera changer, R1 and O1. I wish I could change them to the triggers, but triggers don't work. It never let me use the trigger buttons when I map the controller for some reason. Probably have to map it elsewhere. Fuck that. I'm not fucking with that. You don't need a PS for it. You just need a controller. Go away. Hey. No Phantasy didn't so easy. Didn't split. No! I thought I had that flower. I didn't realize that he was there. Now I gotta run through this all again. It's gonna take me like 5 years. That room was 1 year already. These 2 rooms is 3 more years. My math is bad. And there you go, it's been 4 years. And you can do the math for the rest. It's been about 4 years and a few months or something. Oh right, I don't go in there. I don't get why it's not, you don't go that way. That annoys me because that's the correct way when you're normally playing. However, it does take place in the room past it, it's just you gotta get there elsewhere. Slime, come up! Fuck! I hate trying to freeze the last one, it like never wants to. No, come on, freeze, damn it! Thank you. There's the button. Look your camera. I didn't ask to free me. You stop! Dude! shit out of me. I thought it was a flower hitting me with a weird blast that wasn't legit. Mine material. I really should pay attention to that more, because I've lost at least good 2 or 3 materials that way. And grinders. I mean, it's not really a big deal. So now I should... I gotta... That's been saying that for my career. Yeah, 55, 24. I gotta get that to 60. I mean, I can do very hard. It'll give me 4 points. And then I just do normal I guess I'll just finish that up, bring that up to 60. I don't like 55. It's really odd. Go do normal real quick. I like my evens, thank you. But I also don't like it stopping at, like, say, 58. Because, you know, I hate odds, but I prefer it to stop at 60. You know, a full even hold. I mean, it didn't take me that long. It took me probably a few hours to get it to where it was. I came home and started playing, not immediately, but probably about, like, maybe close to half an hour or so afterward, maybe an hour. So I didn't start right at, like, 3 or, like, 4 o'clock or anything. I started a little later. So I did that all in probably about an hour. And that's already almost at 100. So, it doesn't take as long as you think. Just put several hours into it for a few days or whatever, and you'll get there. That's all. Dead today. Huh. Rip chat. I hardly knew you. I'm not going to be streaming for too long today, though. I may get on and I may still play after we're done streaming, but I'm not going to be streaming for too long. Unless plans say otherwise. I don't know, I just feel very tired today. It feels as if I didn't get much sleep. I mean, I know I didn't. I was up till, I think, 1 or 2 maybe. Maybe 2 o'clock the most, the latest. But it felt like I was up all night, just for how my eyes felt. From here, the Monest looks like Monst. I just wish everything popped up right immediately, so I can get through this as fast as fucking possible. I don't want to be waiting like 3 minutes just for a fucking enemies to pop up. Come up right away. God damn it, come on. hate how they make me have to hit some of these stupid switches because it makes me just go out of my way. It's just annoying, that's all. And then it procs my pet peeve of having to make backtracks, trips, which is why sometimes I hate having to go and get me souls when I'm playing Tyrell's Ego, just because I don't want to. Did my hair just like, did my curls in my hair just go away? I can barely see my own image there on Streamlabs. From here, it looks like my hair is just no longer frizzed out like crazy. That's why I need a haircut, but I don't really want one either. I mean, that just requires me to go to a fucking barber. After work, I'm just so exhausted, I'd rather just go home. That's why I hate going to buy cigarettes after work. So that just requires me another stop, and then I gotta sit there and wait for more traffic. I'd rather just go right home. That's why I prefer to do it in the morning to buy my cigarettes. Sounds... It may sound lazy to some people, but it's not. It's just exhausting. Come on. See, that's another die grinder I'm passing up because I don't really pay attention to that. Actually, I believe my drops are reversed. So it should show me my shit first. Yeah, that's what I thought. The top is always the most recent. Which kind of confuses me. I keep forgetting. Do I have it reversed? Because there's an option to reverse the item's drops floor. So if it normally it would be backwards. So the top would be the very first areas that you encountered in that specific section. In this case, Forest 2. So the top here is going to always be the most recent room. So if you're not paying attention to that item reader, you are going to miss some good stuff. Or have to backtrack like I did. Whoa, wait, what did that say? Fuck. Damn it, I don't know what that said. Poop. I think it said something about along the lines of maybe my change in luck or fortune. I don't know. I mean, I still feel pretty lucky. Alright, so that should have brought me up to 56. So if I beat it on very hard, that should bring me up to 60. I'm getting very lucky with the grinders of materials lately, so whoever is going to be getting some of these is going to get a massive boof. Massive boof. So many mats! Too bad I can't buff myself any further. Except for HP and TP. Which is nice. I don't care about magic so much, but it would be nice to have my HP a little higher. Hey, Infamy was good, my dude. How are you, man? Just working, driving around. Nice. And you have some moment to kill, I assume then. Just it's cool. Work was a long day for me. Really exhausting. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I work at a parts distribution center. It was known as Sears Logistics, but it was bought out by a company called Transform Co. But still, nonetheless, I work for a Sears parts distribution center. And I deal with stocking a lot of the packages, all the packages. Everything that you see there would be, you know, like items that you would see people buy online or whatever, parts for like, I don't know, a washing machine or a microwave or basically anything. I put all of that on the shelving 8 hours a day. And I basically just pull a pallet's worth of junk and I just put it on the shelf, whether it's big or small or boxed or bagged. It's exhausting after a while though. Like I've already gone through like 3 pairs of shoes, and 3 pairs of shoes in a 1-year time frame isn't that bad. However, it murders my feet. But it's a good job. It just murders my feet like hell. And today I just felt particularly exhausted. Like, I did not get any sleep last night. I did, though. I actually did. Not much. I did go to bed a little later than I was hoping, but just the way I felt in the morning and the way my eyes were, it just felt like I had no sleep whatsoever. But, yeah, I'm just really tired from today. Walking around 8 hours a day on very, very solid cement floor, pushing a cart along with me to put boxes on a shelf or whatever. It's easy, but it's exhausting. Ironically enough, I've had harder times when I worked at Chick-fil-A because I had to keep up with orders and shit. So while you make less money there, or I did anyway at the time, because now Chick-fil-A, by me, actually upped their pay, which is bullshit, because I never got that, and they did it after I started sometimes, so if I would have applied later, I would have gotten that raise, which is dumb. So they should have raised me up. But they didn't. Anyway. That job to me was harder to keep up with all the damn food orders, and I made way less money. It's the worst job. I hate fast food service. Ugh, never again. Never again am I gonna stand in one fucking spot making fries all day for 8 hours a goddamn day, because, you know, my managers and everything don't care to let me try other things, even though I knew the whole damn kitchen. The issues I had with that job is nobody gave a fuck, and I couldn't get boosted. I already had a raise. I was originally making probably 8 something. Yes, I did get a discount, while it still was expensive as ass. What I normally would get would probably be like, I don't know, $6, something like that, which would probably normally cost people closer to like maybe 15 or something. I don't really remember the pricing, but I'd say probably a little under $10 for what I got, which usually involves like a sandwich or two and maybe a milkshake with some grilled nuggets. Or if it's breakfast, I get 2 bagels, chicken and egg bagel, and a milkshake. And both of those would probably cost close to $10. But, like, I used to buy that 5 to 6 days a week. I was not gaining. My money was dropping. even with the discount, I kept on top of what I wanted to buy, you know, my gaming habits and all the anime stuff and all that shit. I just was not making money. I kept going down. And see, the problem with that is I already had a raise. Originally, I was probably making around $8.50 to $9. I was boosted up from that to $9.59. That was a raise. So everyone who started to apply after they incorporated the raise, they were making $12 to $13 an hour, and they were only there for a few months, and I was there for at least 3 to 4 years. At Sears, I've worked there for about 3 months, got hired, so I was making, what was it, $12 an hour as a temp, and then I went up to $13, and now I'm at $14.75 an hour. So I've already had 3 raises in less than a year. I've only been here at Sears for 1 official year. My hire date is actually next month. So technically I'll be at Sears hired for 1 year. So I've already been there though for a year already, and I've already had 3 raises. Fuck Chick-fil-A. I love their food's good. Hated the manager shift. Ever since the original general manager left and they switched over to new management, they took away all of your hours overtime wise, and they just dragged me down, and all the issues from just anxiety and depression just did not help because I wasn't gaining money. I'm not able to, get a car or whatever. And so I said, fuck you guys. Basically. Yeah, they did not help me at all. Sears, though, however, really got me back on my feet. And I finally got me my first car because of it. But yes, even with their discount, their food still is expensive. Seriously, it's not much of a discount, honestly. And depending on your performance, I worked in the back of the house. Depending on your performance for front or back, you get benefits and bonuses. Sometimes if you do really well, you may get a bigger discount on your food and certain items, or you get these they used to hand out these little coins that you can turn in for a free entree. But they stopped doing that after a while, and in fact, I never used a single one of them because I didn't care just for one single entree. I just rather just buy a smaller meal like I normally would. I still have a bunch of them just sitting in my cabinet from how well I did back in the beginning. And then after about 3-4 years of that, my performance started to decline because, oh, well, see, I wonder why. Management shift. I stopped caring. I got less sleep. I started smoking far more, and just didn't give a fuck anymore. I couldn't even keep up with any of the shit for some reason anymore. I just didn't care. They found out that I was buying weed, and I said, "Fuck you, then. I'm out." I got fired. I didn't quit, but still. Then they tried to pull some bullshit where they had me sign a waiver saying, "Oh, yeah, well, you're being let go, so you're not going to be able to get any compensation for it." Well, I didn't realize this and ended up doing unemployment, and then they took me to court. I won $200. Sorry, all I got out of unemployment from them was $200. They took me to court for that. I ended up winning. Fuck you, Chick-fil-A. I have people from Chick-fil-A on my Facebook, so if they ever join Twitch, hello. In fact, I think the people that I am friends with, or Facebook friends with, a good chunk of them actually stopped working there. I think they found far better jobs. And a good chunk of them were higher ups. Some of them were managers, and they're making far more money than me, and they left. So, goes to show that Chick-fil-A is not for everybody, even if you're in your early 20s like some of these guys are. I swear, half the people there were all kids. I mean, that's expected. That's expected for, an entry-level job. You're, an early teen or a mid-teen. Not someone of my age range who is... Most of my late 20s was spent there. So I'm older than most of the people there. Like when they ask me my age, oh, you're not that old. Yeah, here's my license, asshole. Just because I look like I'm in my early 20s doesn't mean I'm not. I'm almost 30. In fact, I will be in a few days. My birthday is the 30th. The 30th of September, and I'm turning 30. Yay. Alright, that's at 60 now. I don't want episode 2. Don't know why I do a password, just habit. I don't want to anguish, no. As much as I would love boosted experience and boosted drop rate for rares, I don't want enemies to boostly damage over damage me. Level 3, setting your anguish to max, you can set anguish levels up to 10. Every time you do that, your enemies get boosted from their defenses, HP, to damage output, and drop rate, all that. Level 3 alone boosts their stats by 100%, or their attack at least, by 100%. Boosting it by 10, if you change your anguish to 10, they get a 1,000 or a 500 boost? Something like that. 500 or 1,000 boost. I forgot which one. Either way, I get one-shotted. Even on Anguish 3, most enemies will one-shot me, because they're boosted by 100% by that point. And most of their health at Anguish 10, most enemies, probably, I don't know, I definitely plan a big stream. It's up to, really, honestly, I don't know. My parents may want to go out to eat, or they may ask me if I want to go out to eat. Yeah, so I still live with my parents. Because unfortunately, most of my young life, I couldn't find a job. Anyway, that's not important, and trust me, my anxiety and depression really acts up when I remind myself of that. Anyway, they may ask me to go if I want to go out to eat. I may do so. Who knows? As of right now, just a stream. Really, I don't have much of a life outside of being in my room. And honestly, as much as that doesn't sound very good, I actually prefer to be a shut-in. Just because I don't really like to be around too many people. I've been hated on most of my life by people around me for how I looked and dressed, and unfortunately ever since then I've been kind of a shut-in. But I'm happy. I just don't really like to go outside. Never did. It got worse as I aged, though. Anyway, enough about my non-existent life, which is just gaming. But no, not that I know of. I don't really have anyone out here in PA. All my family and friends are back in Illinois. If I was back there, I may hang out with somebody and someone may, like, ask me, hey, you want to go to a bar? Or, hey, do you want to go out? Or if I chill with a good friend of mine, he probably would just come over and we'd hang out. And that's it. Normal day. But I'm definitely planning a stream, so we will see. I already streamed for the past 2 birthdays, I believe. I'm on the same boat. I'm a shut-in as well. Well, hey, at least I'm not alone. Because I definitely know for a fact, I mean, aside from you just admitting it, I know I'm not the only shut-in in this world. There's tons of gamer men and women who literally have no life. And, you know, no loved ones, like, you know, girlfriend, boyfriend-wise, or whatever, or no, like, socialing skills. But, you know, it is what it is. You prefer what you prefer. I prefer just to sit and play games rather than go outside. And a friend or two would always come over to my house back when I was living in Illinois, so I've always had that luxury where my house was the chill spot. I miss those days where everyone used to just come over, we'd all smoke some weed, play games, I'd have a massive sleepover with a couple people, and we just, like, play games, do some board games, Pokemon, or play some console games. The good old days. And that's basically what it was like for many, many years. So yeah, it's good to know that I'm not the only one who's a shut-in. I know there's a ton of people out there, I just don't know any personally. All of my friends have they're dating or married or have kids, and they go out and they have things and stuff like that. I am a single man with no family, besides my parents and brothers and all. Were you a teenager or more so a young adult when you had friends? Most of that was when I was a teenager and early college. A lot of my friends coming over to smoke weed and hang out and sleep over, a lot of that was done in high school. However, it still continued well into my college, early adulthood, especially when I started dating more. So I started to date a lot more during my high school and college days. A lot of my exes would come over and we'd just hang out daily, typical relationship stuff. And we would chill, play games, and watch anime. But yeah, a lot of that was done when I was in high school, especially my drug, the times where I would just, do drugs and shit. That's where a lot of that was. My partying, I guess, was at my house with sleepovers. We would smoke and drink and that kind of stuff. I'd still be doing it now if I was living back home. In fact, I've only been out here for maybe 4 years or so. Even before I moved, I was still having a friend over or two, and he'd sleep over. Or my ex at the time would sleep over. I'd still be doing it now with one of my closest friends if I was still back there. Because he's no different than me, honestly, aside that he has a girlfriend and he is more socially active and is better with women than I am. So he definitely would go out more, but aside from that, he'd be at my house from when we get out of school till he has to leave, or if he sleeps over, and repeats that day after day. Miss those days. I really do. It doesn't sound like it's very entertaining, but I enjoy it. I find more fun just being in my room playing a game than I do when I'm out at a friend's house. Or, ironically, it sounds sad, I had more fun being with my girlfriend in my room than I did when I was at her house. Odd, isn't it? But that's just me. Not that I didn't enjoy it. It's just, I prefer to be comfortable. Not that I wasn't comfortable, I'm bad at explaining. I'm very bad at explaining it. At least I met her at school. Unlike a good chunk of my exes were met either by friends or online, I'm actually got them on my own. There's a few, and that makes me happy. But yeah, no, definitely, I would love to still have that, have people over. But in my current room now, it'd be pointless. One, I have no cable. Two, there's no way to really watch my TV because my TV is literally off to my right next to me here. And in order for you to watch my TV, you would literally have to be either standing or sitting in a chair because you can't watch it from my bed anymore because the way it's been moved. Before it was against the wall and I can literally game from my bed or I used to have a chair right in front of my bed. That changed because it just wasn't comfortable. It was kind of annoying. I had to back the chair up to get out, and even that didn't leave me much room. Now I can freely move within this big space, back up, get out, and not have to worry too much. And that chair was painful, because it was a gaming chair too that I had, but it was one of those that didn't have legs, so it was like a floor gaming chair, so my dad had to build a box or some type of thing that it sat on so I can have it propped up high enough so I can actually, be at a desk. Unfortunately, it didn't have wheels. But he made it so it didn't carve up the floor whenever I had to move. So it glided, but it just was uncomfortable. So I got this gaming chair that I'm currently sitting in right now. With my green screen attached to it, which is convenient. It literally has little spots. I don't know if that was intentional. It is a legitimate gaming chair, though. I don't know if that was intentional for green screens. Nor was it intentional when I bought the green screen either, because the size is far too big. I should have checked on a smaller size. However, it fits perfectly in the chair's little slots. So I think that's intentional. Oh, see, look, there's another material I'm missing. Not that it matters. Okay. Okay. I also did YouTube for a while, back when I was living at home as well. That's where that started. And the bulk of my YouTube actually started after I moved here, though, which is kind of funny how long I've been doing YouTube for. Because I started it back when I was living at home, and then after like a year or two of that, I moved out here, and then bulk of my recordings were all done here. In fact, I didn't have a headset for a while when I first moved here. If you watch some of my older videos, you'll be able to tell that I did not have a headset, so I used to use my built-in computer mic. God damn that audio quality. Ugh. Then you notice me get a microphone, and then you also notice when I get the Elgato, because I used to use Roxio, and the quality of both audio and video improved drastically, while my commentary did not. If you care. All my Twitch streams will eventually be on YouTube if you want to watch them. In case you miss any Twitch streams that Twitch deletes, all that will eventually be on YouTube in the end. So, I mean, there's a place to watch it. Exclamation point YouTube, I think the command is, if you care to get linked it. I can do it. I think I can do it. Let's see. Yes, there you go. If you care. You don't have to. It's not really all that important. It's just a way for people to watch my past streams. Hell, you can even check out my recordings. While they're not great. Some games are better than others with quality commentary. Some are just garbage. And the longer this series progressed for me, I either just stopped talking or just canceled it for some reason. If I get bored or other things come out and I play other games and shit. So a lot of my recordings series never got finished. Only a handful did. That's why I stream now. Plus, it's a lot nicer. I get to actually talk to somebody, you know what I mean, live, and not have to be like going through comments, because I get a lot of bullshit comments of people saying, "Oh, I like your work. Come check out my channel." And you know, I do that, and they'd be like, "Follow for follow, whatever." And I do all that. I actually enjoy their content, so I follow them. I whatever, subscribe, and I get nothing in return back. Like they don't even follow or subscribe if they enjoy my content. They don't even subscribe back if I do to them. So it's just like, fuck you guys. I get a lot of those. I had a lot of those. But then there's also some good diamonds in there too. Some people asking for help on a game or something. And in fact, there's a few people who actually really liked my content, which is odd. But it's thanks to them that I was able to progress as a person, as a streamer, or gamer, or content creator, or whatever. So I thank all you guys. And my YouTube's somewhat growing on and off. I mean, it's far bigger than it was ever. I was struggling for a while around, what was it? The 160 mark or something? Or 150 mark? 140 to 150 mark? Now I'm over that. I'm almost at 200. Not quite there, but I'm around 160. 160, 170. Which would never have gotten there if it wasn't for Twitch, though. But I still get random follow or subscribers on YouTube that from people who haven't even checked out my Twitch. So my YouTube is still kind of there for people. I get it, I am underrated. I've had a lot of people tell me that. I mean, I have potential of being very good and entertaining. It's just, ugh. It's hard to come up with conversations when you're talking to yourself. However, it's thanks to that I'm able to hold a chat conversation now, somewhat, because I built up years of talking to myself thanks to gaming on YouTube. Because that's basically what you gotta do. You gotta talk as if you're talking to an audience, but in the end, you're really just talking to a mirror, kind of. You know what I mean? That's why I like Twitch. Thank you for the good job. And that's why I like Twitch, is because I can do the same thing, but also carry a conversation live and see someone's reaction to a certain thing I did in a game or something. And, you know, they can react, and I can see it all right then and there, versus, oh, here's a 30-minute video, here's someone commenting about it. It just wasn't. And plus, I hated the editing after many years of doing massive recordings from, like, handheld gaming to console gaming to PC gaming. The editing on a lot of this stuff was annoying, specifically the handheld stuff, because I had to make a layout for it, because otherwise it would just be black bars across the screen, and that's no fun. And after a while, that just got tiring to do. Eventually, my program just started to fuck up, so I literally couldn't edit, because it literally would run at, like, I don't know, the scenes, whenever I tried to play the scenes, it would stutter, and it would probably run at, like, maybe, like, 10 FPS, or a little less than that, maybe, and it just was uneditable. It would edit, and it would work. If I were to edit and render it, and it put it on YouTube, it would play perfectly fine. However, the editing, though, for some reason, made the video stutter to beyond hell, and it just became painful to edit. And I was never that great of an editor anyway. I basically just cut out load screens and unnecessary shit. There's people who literally edit their video a hell of a bit and cut out a lot of important things. The problem with me on YouTube is I like to show off everything. Which is why a lot of my longer, like, bigger games, stuff like, I don't know, PSO, Pokemon, Dark Souls, a lot of that would be longer videos. 45 to an hour long videos, edited down probably about a good maybe 15 minutes. Only because I like to show me getting everything, show me fighting this boss, show me leveling this, or whatever, you know. That's just my habit. I did not mean to use Ryuker. That's always been my thing, because I feel like that's a big achievement for me when I have something cataloged like that. Funny thing is, though, video making, or I guess game recording, anything like that's always been a big thing for me, even as a kid. Back then, I used to record me playing games on a VHS tape, and I wish I still had some of those. The only thing that there wasn't, it was, of course, there was no camera and there was no mic, so I, you know, didn't have any audio for it. But I used to record footage of me playing games as a kid. Don't know why, but I did. I guess I was destined to be a video content creator in some regard. And now you're learning a bit about my past life. Past life? My younger self, I should say. Yeah, my past life. I reincarnated. My early years. Yeah, though, I'm growing on Twitch too. I mean, I enjoy just doing it. If you guys want to help me out and support the channel, that means a lot, but I'm not literally begging for it. I don't get upset whenever I don't, because I have not received any amount of subscriptions or money in a long while, in fact. And I'm not, like, begging for it. But it definitely is appreciated. It means a lot to me. I am literally one follower off of 200, finally, which means a lot. So I thank you guys for that, getting me to 200. And I grew far faster on Twitch, too, which is amazing. In about half the time frame of what I grew on YouTube, I already made that on Twitch. So it took me probably about a few years to get up to about 160 on YouTube. It took me probably about a few months to get up to where I am on YouTube now on Twitch. And it slowed down a lot, which is why I'm not at 200. But however, that first follow to the, I don't know, 150th took only a few months, because I streamed a lot back then when I first started. I mean, like 12, 13, 14-hour streams. Yeah, I'm almost at 200. I'm one off. And I used to stream 12 to 14 hours a day, every day. Which is why my channel not only grew, but also I gained the affiliate status really, really quickly. I mean, I have my buddy, my guy Zero, Amazon Prime subs me every month, and that means a lot. So, I mean, I still get that, but it's not like I'm receiving income from it. Not that I care. I never intentionally started YouTube or Twitch for money. It was a goal that I wanted, yes, because I want to do this for a job. That's a goal. But it's not something like, oh god, I'm not making money, I'm going to quit. Because the original reason I quit YouTube wasn't because I wasn't making money. In fact, I was. I just needed to hit a goal of 100 before I could receive it. Which I'm actually almost there on Twitch. Surprisingly, I'm surprised I'm not. And that's just for subscriptions and alone, not counting donations, because donations, you get that immediately. But I stopped because I just got tired of the editing. It just, my work was not going anywhere, and no one was caring, and I wasn't growing. And no matter what I did, no one just seemed to... care. YouTube's hard. I started very late. I wasn't one of the earlier gamers. I was a very late YouTuber. I think I started my actual gaming side probably 2014 or 15. I mean, I've had my YouTube channel for a while, and then I turned it into an actual gaming channel. Now, if I started this back in, like, say, I don't know, early mid 2000s, like, 7 to now, I probably would be far bigger. But then again, all the popular YouTubers of then are now gone. A lot of the popular YouTubers that probably everyone was so familiar with and loved is now gone. All I really ever did was watch gaming videos. I remember back when Nate and Dookie were a big thing to me, and I used to watch a lot of their Pokemon videos. Then they died out. They're still around, it's just they don't really do gaming stuff anymore, and kind of I subscribed a lot for their gaming content. And maybe some of their like top 10s, like favorite countdowns of Pokemon, or Pokemon song covers and shit. That's the main reason I followed them and subbed them. Not so much for one guy to do music and shit, and another guy to just not do any gaming or top 10s, so that's where a lot of that went, and I stopped watching them. I missed their videos. They used to do a lot of Pokemon content. Yeah, they're still around, though. I just don't watch them as much. And then I switched over to Team 4-Star, the Dragon Ball Abridged guys. Now I pretty much watch them religiously, because that's all I really watch, aside from maybe some anime, is I watch YouTube or Twitch. And I watch a lot of their D&D stuff, nerd stuff, gaming, like Pokemon, D&D, Dragon Ball, all that stuff. And I've been in love with their shit ever since. But I do miss the dumb comedy that is Nate and Dookie, if you've seen them. Their comedy is amazing, and I miss their chemistry. Unfortunately, they all have personal lives, and one of them moved away, so they no longer live near each other and whatnot. And life happens. You know what I mean? One's an actual music artist, the other one's just a basic guy, I guess. I don't know if he has any any inspiration in art besides like making YouTube videos, but the other one does actual music. So at least I know for a fact one of them is trying to get out there in the music business, which is nice. Unfortunately, that's not really for me. I watch YouTube mainly for gaming stuff and maybe some funny shit. And that's actually what got me into wanting to do YouTube. Watching Nate and Dookie's Pokemon videos. And I was like, I can do this. My first capture device was a Roxio and a 3DS capture. My first game I ever did besides Dark Souls 1 was Dragon Ball Attack of the Saiyans. And Attack of the Saiyans was like a 3-year-long recording. Because... like I said, I ended up getting a microphone. I ended up started doing, layouts around my 3DS games, screens, and I started doing better editing. I started getting better, so as I started to progress more. And then I eventually moved off that game, and I eventually finished that game, but many years later. Kingdom Hearts 1. You know how many times I had to restart that game? I restarted it like 4 times just because I wanted to make sure everything was perfect. A lot of the episodes had errors with audio and editing and game commentary not lining up. And that's what happened towards the start of Kingdom Hearts 2, which is why I streamed the rest of it, because editing it was impossible. Nothing was lining up. I don't know what happened with my because I use Camtasia. It's a free editor, even though I did buy it for like $100-something. I'm not paying out the ass for an editor, a professional editor that I will never use the full capabilities of. So I basically just had a free cracked version of Camtasia until the company caught on to that and started adding watermarks to your videos unless you own the program. Take your time, my dude. Take your time. I'm rambling now. That's what happens though when someone's actually in chat, or if I have things to say. Jeez, that was annoying. Oh. Angelo, Flights, Commander Root, Devarian, Lurk, Streamlabs, and 3. Thank you guys for joining. Lurk or not, thank you guys. $30, okay. Play this in bed. Sega, re-release this game and put it on the Switch, damn you. Please. I would gladly freaking restart, even though I would still play this. Because I would gladly just play that in bed and then just play this version. For stream. So that's what I do with Final Fantasy. I've been playing a lot of that on the Switch. I prefer it on handheld. That's also why I prefer a handheld/console, home console. That's why I love the Switch. It's what the Wii U should have been. It's what the Wii U should have been. Looking at you, you bricked piece of crap. Not even a brick, but you might as well be, because I just want to toss you right now. The thing is basically no different than a brick, and I don't mean a bricked console. I mean just sitting there, just a hunk of useless material. I wouldn't say useless. A brick is actually not useless, but you know what I mean. I don't think I've touched my Wii U since I played Pokken Tournament. That's a long time ago. I should get back on that, but I want to stream Donkey Kong 64. I also want to re-put some stuff onto my Wii because I had Paper Mario and a few other games I want to stream. That 64 emulation is terrible. Let me get a rest on my ears real quick. I'll be right back. Rest me, stretch me leggies. Rest my head. My ears are starting to hurt. When the cat decides to infinitely rotate instead of tightening. I've never been in a real relationship. Were yours any? Yes, actually. I've had 2. I've been in many relationships, but I've only had 2 relationships that actually were really meaningful, which were over a year long. My longest relationship was 2.5 years. The second relationship I had after that was about a year and a half. The rest were like maybe 4 months. The longest besides those 2, which were the best relationships I had. Every other relationship before that or after that, in fact before that, because I haven't had a relationship since my last one, which was a year and a half. So I've been single for probably about 5 years. Was probably the longest I had before that was probably 4 months. Everything else was either a week, 2 weeks, or 3 days. My shortest relationship, I got dumped on the phone. I saw the girl walking away with another guy, literally within the same time frame. Poor way to get dumped. Funny thing is, that girl doesn't remember that, and she claims that our breakup was mutual. Yeah, no, it was not. Mutual my ass. That's why you had some dude call me on the phone while you're walking around with some other guy. Yeah, okay, mutual my ass. You did it 3 times to me. I gave this girl 3 separate chances. Dumped me every time after about a few days. But yeah, no, a few of my relationships were very good. We lasted for a while. I was happy, had a lot of good sex and all that good stuff. And unfortunately, we broke up because I didn't have a job, and I wanted to be me, inside. And they wanted to go out, and I understand that. And I didn't mind going out and hanging out and going whatever. I just couldn't take them out anywhere. Anywhere I got taken to, they had to drive me. They paid for a good chunk of it, or I had to borrow money from my parents, or if I got them there, it would be my parents that took them there. And they just didn't, after a few years of that, they couldn't handle it anymore. And we were just like, their little reasoning was they wanted our relationship to grow. And we weren't going anywhere in terms of that. So, unfortunately, I'm sure I would have still been with one of them if it wasn't for that. And I do miss them, and I love them very much. I don't really talk to any of them anymore. In fact, the one girl I'm still friends with, but she's got a kid and she's with someone else. And the other girl is married now, and she broke up with me, and we haven't talked since. Which is kind of a shame. She threw 2.5 years down the toilet very, very quickly, very easily. And I was her first. Not that that really means much, but it does mean quite a bit in some regards. But she kind of just threw that relationship right out the window after dumping me. We dated like 3 times, though. We had an on and off relationship, but 2.5 years nonetheless. I just get, most of my time, my relationships, when they end though, usually the girl never is very kind about it. I usually get cheated on, or they're, seeking other people while trying to break it off with me, and then they don't tell me right away that they want someone else. They just break it off, and then I find out, like, right then and there, or a few days later, that they like someone else. It's like, you could tell me, like, a month or 2 ahead of time, hey, I'm losing feelings for you, and I think I want to date other people. I would have been more, okay, I understand it sucks, but I would have been more understandable than, oh, I'm sorry, I don't think we're working anymore, and then I find out later on that, you're dating someone else, instead of telling me that you want to, and you don't want to be with me anymore. Both recent exes have done that to me, and it just never felt good. And then I had a relationship with a girl, my first. Ugh. That was my worst relationship. It only lasted probably maybe total close to a year at most, but total I'd say we dated 4 months before breaking it off several 100 times, or however long we dated. I gave her a lot of chances. She was my first. I loved her. And she basically hit on her best friend. Yes, I'm not kidding. Her best friend, who's a girl, her best friend's boyfriend, right in front of me, and her. Gave him a note. I walked away. I basically said, fuck you, and walked home. With tears rolling down my face. That's all good. My first real relationship. I've dated girls before her, but I never actually had any sex or anything until then. And she was like my first official love, and she just, wrong person. She was a slut. She would date anybody who had a big enough dick. And you can tell because I wasn't big enough for her. And I'm not small. So she obviously wants over 8 inches or big, anything around like 8 to 9 inches or more. So obviously I'm not that level. But yeah, unfortunately, she's one of those girls. So regardless of that, we wouldn't have worked, and it sucks. So I appreciate it, man. I've had some good times with the girls I dated. I'm not at the right as of right now. I wouldn't mind a relationship. It's just I want to be more on my feet, you know. Like I'm a lot better off now than I was then because I have a car now. I just need to find me a place to live, and then I can try focusing on my personal life. Because as much as I want that, I don't want to have to be like, oh yeah, I live with my parents at my age, and then a girl be like, oh okay, and then everything just goes down the window. I don't want that. I don't want that. Which is why I'm not trying to focus on a relationship right now. Because it wouldn't work. But I do have a girl that I do like that I work with. I'm also shy. It's hard to talk to women, but there's, unfortunately, it'd be hard to deal with that because my current situation, unfortunately. But it's no big deal. I can easily find somebody. I know I have the potential. I just gotta stop being a shy little bitch. That's what happens when you get hated on and made fun of and dissed on by every person or every girl you enjoy, every girl you had a crush on, or every person you went to school with. You know, besides your friends, they all alienated me, made me much shyer, and the reason why I am a shut-in. Give me them points. I need that quest. Questing, baby. I gotta tell you though, if you ever do get in a real relationship long enough to where you actually, you know, love these people, heartbreak. It's not a physical pain, it's an emotional pain, but it feels physical, if that makes sense. Probably one of the most painful feelings ever. Literal heartbreak from getting someone you love leaving you really fucking hurts. I don't even know half the feeling because I wasn't married. If I was married for a few years and they broke it off, it probably would have been 5 times worse. Trust me, it took me a few months to get over the last girl I dated. In fact, it took me several years to get over the other girl before her, like truly over her. Because like I still have feelings for both of them, but it took me a few years to really fully on be like, okay, I need to not just dwell on the past. Most of my time with the girl I last dated, early on, I spent most of the time dwelling on my past relationship, which is not something you should do. But unfortunately, I was so upset, depressed still, from even being a year or two of being single to dating this next girl. It still was in my mind, and I just wasn't ready. And it did ruin a bit of our relationship, and I understand that. Heartbreak is a very painful feeling. Every waking moment, my heart ached. I couldn't even play any games that reminded me of them at all. At the time when my last ex broke up with me, not my most recent one, but the one before that, the one that I dated 2.5 years with, I played a lot of Fable 2 around the time we were dating. And my best friend and me used to do a lot of co-op of that. When me and her broke it off, I couldn't even play that game anymore without thinking of her. Like, I couldn't even watch Yu Yu Hakusho without thinking of her. All these memories just kept flooding into my brain, and they still do. It's just I can do it now. It's just it hurts, but it's not horrible. But before, I couldn't even play anything. I was so damn depressed. Like, it was bad. And I already have anxiety issues and depression issues and abandonment issues. Not so much abandonment issues. I just don't like when people leave me. That, I guess, is abandonment issues. I just have issues because I feel like they're leaving me to go do something else that I, like, cheat on me or something. I just have anxiety like that. And it feels like they feel like I can't trust them when I do. It's just I can't help it, and yeah, it's not fun. I don't think I've ever been so depressed in my life, and I have depression. And then I basically just smoked nonstop, and it didn't help for the first time ever. Just sitting there playing games and smoking, I just couldn't take it anymore. I almost wanted to end myself, but I'm not gonna commit suicide as much as I thought about it. Because why? Why do that? When I have a full life ahead of me. I want to live it. Talking about it now does kind of hurt a little. I could feel some slight pain. It's not, and don't worry about it. I don't mind talking about it. It's just, I feel it a little bit. That just shows that I still love them, and I will always. Because it hurts now that I know that one of my exes is currently in a relationship. I see it, and it kind of aches a little bit. It's just, but I know that there's someone out there for me, so regardless until that happens, I'm going to have some memories of that, and it's going to hurt. And it still does. I still listen to sad songs, songs that I dedicated to them, that kind of thing. I still have that. However, though, friends have really helped me. If it wasn't for my friends coming over for me to talk to, I would not be happy. I would be very, very alone. Most first relationship workout, should I not get... Well, if you plan on dating soon, I suggest eventually, once you actually start to get serious, then maybe you could start putting your hopes into hoping it would last. Because they do. There are chances that it can last. Like high school sweethearts, college sweethearts, they can last. However, the first few months in, I suggest you don't try to get like overly clingy. Don't focus on like saying like, oh, I love you, I'll never leave you, or you're the only one for me. You know, typical relationship stuff like that all the girls would say to me, or I would say to them. Just play it naturally. Take them out on a, like say it's an anniversary. Take them out, or like, go to a movie, go to a park, go to get dinner, something like that. Just do the typical stuff. Hang out, play games, watch what you're into. But I wouldn't go so far as to just be overly crazy with I love you, that kind of bullshit. Until like you both really know you're in love. Even then, be careful with that, because like anything can break a woman's trust. Not saying that nothing can break a man's, but women's trust is, I feel, far more finicky. Anything can easily destroy that trust. And once that's gone, basically the relationship will never be the same. Because they'll dwell on it. Just like I told you about with my past mistake where I was still dwelling on my past ex-girlfriend. My recent ex-girlfriend who, unfortunately suffered that wrath. Kinda hasn't gotten over it. Well, she has now, but like at the time, she was... Whenever I'd upset her, that would be the go-to insult. Like, oh yeah, you remember this? I'm like, oh, damn it. Yeah. So you gotta be careful. Women will remember. More than men. Because that's more of... Relationships for men is important, but for women, they remember that more than men will. Which is why, like, they tend to remember dates. They tend to remember all that important stuff more than a man will. So that's why... When you're in a relationship, it's important to pay attention to that. Because I remember my ex, I could not remember my ex's middle name for a while. And she literally quizzed me, what's my middle name? And she would get pissed at me for that. And I can understand that. However, it's just like, my memory is gobshite. I have horrible short-term memory. And if I didn't remember her middle name, I did not hear the end of it. So like I said, so if you're going to get into a relationship, just make sure you're extra careful not to go out of your way to do something stupid or, upset them, because they will remember, and it will drag you down for the rest of your life. Because you will always remember them. If you truly love them, you will always remember them. Even if you don't talk anymore. So yeah. Just be you, man. Once you start hitting about 4 or 5 months, that's when, you know, real love starts kicking in. And then once you hit the year or two mark, that's when you're like, okay, I think I'm ready to maybe see about getting a place, or maybe, you know, talking about like, hey, is there a potential way maybe we can take it a step further? Maybe have some sex if you guys are the more absent type, or, you know, try to figure out, okay, maybe we can live together, figure out what's a good plan, how long to be a date, how long to be a couple for before you decide to pop the question. I'd say after about 2 to 3 years, then maybe if you feel like you truly found your one, then I'd say you can ask. Because I would have actually, if I would have had my own place, I would have asked my last girlfriend to marry me already. We would have been together for, if we were still dating, we probably would be together probably about maybe 4 years, 3-4 years now. If I was still dating my other ex, the one who I dated for 2.5 years, it would be over 10 if we were still dating right now. Because we met in 2008, and it's almost 2020. So it would be over 10 years right now. My other ex, yeah, it would be closer to like 5 or 6 years. So yeah, time really flies when you're dating. So before you know it, you'll be dating this girl for a year or two. So yeah, just be careful. Dating, especially long-term dating like that, it really does change your life, because then you get used to it. I got used to them being around, and then once that ended, I couldn't act. I just couldn't be myself. I wasn't myself without them. I needed them. They were my life. You know what I mean? That's love. That's true love right there. When a person becomes your life. And you don't realize this until like maybe 3 or 4 months in, that a person you are starting to fall for. Some people fall in love immediately. Some people have love at first sight, which I had. Me and my ex fell in love at first sight. Dated 2.5 years. And then that love immediately died. All because I smoked cigarettes, weed, and didn't have a job. Yep, she hated drugs. To the point where she almost wanted to put me in rehab for weed. And hated me for smoking cigarettes, because reasons. I had to lie about it, because she would not be happy if I tried to be like, yeah, I'm smoke, so what? And she was just not happy regardless. That's not a good relationship. Like, I know I lie a bit. I know people are gonna lie, and I know I've lied a bit. But man, having to sit there and hide that you smoke, even though she knows you smoke, because you don't want to hear her bitch at your ass. Yeah, it's not a good it's not a good tactic to have. I did my fair share of upsetting her. I'm sure I cracked her heart in half many places. But yeah, just take it slow. Let the relationship happen. Let them come to you, or you go to them, and just let the relationship flow. Just do what you got to do. Take them out. Show them that you want them to be your world. Show them that they are the world to you, and everything will fall into place. They'll fall in love with you, and eventually, before you know it, you may end up putting a ring on that. Relationships are hard, though. Again, like anything in life, though, it's a grind. You got to make sure to work on it, because if you don't, the girl's not gonna see that you care. So you just gotta. That's all you gotta do. You gotta work on it. You gotta show that you care. And I did not have a lot of actions that backed up my words. So a lot of the times, the girl never believed I cared about them. I mean well. I'm just bad with women. And kind of an asshole sometimes. I can be. People make me. But yeah, that's all it is, really. I'm also good for talking. So if you ever have any issues with future relationships, or, you know, any issues with maybe like you and a friend are fighting, or, you know, close to ending that, or any issues you may have, I'm a good listener, and I'm a great talker. I may not have experience with a lot of that in my life. I mean, I've never really had to end a friendship, but I've had relationships break off, and I've had close friends that I've had to just say goodbye to because things weren't working out, or they were stealing from me. I've had a few friends actually steal from me, and they're not friends of me. They're not friends anymore. So yeah, I'm a very good listener. If you have any issues you want to talk out and, get out in the open, because it's always better to talk about your issues, especially if you get it out, and then you get that weight off your chest. I'm always here for that. I've always been there for my friends. Literally, I'm basically like a shrink when it comes to that. A lot of my friends don't normally... I go to my friends for a lot of issues, but for anyone to talk to, they always came to me. When it came to like, oh, this person broke my heart, or I'm in love with this person, da-da-da, they always would come to me. And I'm not the most, like, expert on this kind of stuff, but I've built up that kind of... I guess I built up my knowledge of that just by dating and talking to people about it. So I'm always here for you, man. And even if you want to talk about life, happy stuff, sad things, whatever, personal stuff, I'm always here. And if you want to talk personally, feel free to PM me or join the Discord, and you can always message me directly, and this is something that stays between us. I've made friends with a few Twitch followers, subs, people, whatever you want to call them. There are a few people who joined my channel. I've definitely made some cool friends off PSO, played with them, talked with them, helped them out with some life. So I'm always here for you, man. I'm not a shrink, but I feel like one. I'm 3 years into my relationship. The ring is a constant talk on my neck. Ah, see? There you go. Welcome, Jabrona. Yeah, it's been a while, man. Holy shit. But yes, well, getting a ring with my ex was a thing we talked about. It just, I never had the money. But yeah. Some people date for many years and don't get married after maybe 4 or 5 years. It depends. Some people get married really early. Some people get married after a year or two of dating. Some people get married literally not, like, only a few months. Or people get married after several years. It just depends on when you're ready. Neither of us were ready to get married, but we wanted to at the time, but I just never had a house or the job to actually support a family, unfortunately. Otherwise, I probably would be a married man with my own place. Not a big deal. Life happens. I'll find somebody. I just need to focus on myself. By the way, I hope it's all good. Hope all's good. Oh, yeah. Me and this guy were just talking about my past relationships. Nothing like... I mean, some of it may sound depressing, but I'm really not like, oh my god, this girl from this ex many years ago broke my heart, and I'm still, like, dwelling on it. I mean, I may still love them, but it's just... I'm just trying to create a conversation, and... You know what I mean? That's all it is. Yeah, all's good. I'm having a good day. I'm not upset or anything. I mean, these relationships have been over for long enough to where I can talk about it and I still have feelings for them, but it doesn't like, oh my god, I miss you kind of thing. Which I do, but it's just like, I'm not crying over it. I'm not going to sit there and be like, I can't focus. If I just got dumped, like, say, last week or a month ago, yeah, I probably would not be streaming for a while. Trust me, back when I got dumped, like I told him, I could not play a damn thing. I couldn't focus. Couldn't do anything. Good thing I didn't do Twitch or YouTube back then, because goddamn, I would have disappeared for a while. 5 years before my current, yes, I do think. No, it happens. My longest relationship is, my longest straight relationship was 2.5 years. But on and off, it was definitely about 3 to 4 years or more. So yes, I still think of both my exes from time to time. Especially one, because the one I'm friends with on Facebook, I see pictures of her and her current guy and whatnot, and I still kind of like get upset by it in a little way. I'm kind of jealous, but that's only because I still love her. Oh, god damn it, I missed. The animation of me shooting. Oh, shit, I had escape doll. The animation of me shooting, I couldn't move. But yeah, no. It happens. I actually... Funny thing, apparently I mean, you can have feelings for somebody who you never dated, or, you know, if you've if you had a fling with them at one point, maybe, you had sex, or, you talked for a few weeks and you had some feelings somehow. I had a girl who I had a fling with. It was nothing but just, like, a short, like, oh, I'm kind of, like, lonely. I want to try to use it, get over my ex, and hopefully if it lasts, we'll date. But it was kind of like a side, it was kind of like a way for me to get picked up again, if that makes sense. I forgot what the technical term they would use for that. But it is basically a way for me to hopefully find somebody, also all the while filling the void of loneliness. I had sex with a girl who... I only had sex with her once, and we talked for probably a few months. I found her on Discord again. She blocked me on Discord because she still had feelings for me and didn't want to be reminded of it. And we never dated. We only had sex once, and we only talked for a few months. Apparently I'm a ladies' man somehow. But this girl was so in love with me, I guess, that she couldn't even bear to be friends with me any longer after our little, I guess, break off. Even though we didn't date, we did have sex, though. Rebound. I just thought of it. The word was rebound, where you date another person because you're trying to get over your past ex. That's basically what she was, and I did not want her to feel like that, though, but yeah. I had to end it off with her because she basically was just doing what I didn't like. She kept pulling crap like, oh, I'm here at your house, and while she wouldn't be, she would play emotion mind games with me, and I just like, okay, women do that enough, but I don't need this shit right now. Especially, not long after getting my heart broken, this girl would just play mind games with me. And I said, I can't handle it. Sorry. I had to break it off with her permanently. Wasn't a bad girl either, she was nice. And she lived not too far from me. But unfortunately, shit happens. Be careful of them crazy women, too. Like the one I just talked about. The freaking mind game players and the ones that have abandonment issues. Careful, man. They're fucking weird. Also be careful. One of my exes also used to smoke out of a crack pipe. Be careful of druggies. I've dated quite a few druggy women. And sex addicts. You want to be careful of them. Sex addicts, maybe not so much. Just be wary that they may cheat on you. However, if a woman you are dating loves you and you make her a sex addict, like I had with my ex, then you're in for a great relationship with that, if you're into sex. But just be careful. You don't want a relationship. You don't want your first relationship like mine was, where it was you dated a slut who, hit on her own best friend's boyfriend right in front of both of you. You don't want that. I don't know how they were considered best friends. It's like, okay. Best friends have a code, I'm afraid. You don't date okay, that's kind of wrong. I kind of did date one of my exes, or one of my friend's exes, but I wasn't like, oh, I'm here trying to break them up secretly to go out with them. No, I didn't do that. I can guarantee you my ex would have definitely have done that. And I don't consider them best friends. In fact, I don't even think they talk anymore. Yeah, you don't want a relationship like that. You'll know a slut when you see one. And unfortunately, I was like early teenager when I dated her. I was like 16, so I did not know much about that at all, relationships and sex-wise. So I'm also very gullible, so I believed a lot of her bullshit. And it was very easy to play me, because I'm such an innocent, kind guy when I'm not an asshole. I'm normally a very nice guy, so it doesn't take much for a woman to play me. And that's what she did. She played up to my kindness. And that was only a 4-month to maybe almost a year relationship, so you just gotta be careful with that. Just make sure you're both happy. Make sure you both receive what you typically need from each other, support, love, trust, happiness. And then, give her the world, take her out, treat her. That kind of thing. If you do that and give her everything, and you guys know you trust and love each other and nothing will happen, even if you hang out with another girl, guy, whatever, then your relationship will be perfect. Ish. Because nothing's perfect, but you know what I mean. You don't want a relationship where every waking moment you feel like you're getting cheated on, because that's basically what most of my relationships were, even though most of the time they weren't, and I knew they cared about me. It's just the fear of it and anxiety just didn't help, and it affected the relationship because I kept telling her, you know, I feel like you're doing this or this, and then they just felt like I just couldn't trust them, even though I did. It's just anxiety was causing issues of being alone. And unfortunately, they were a big part of my life to the point where after they break up, I couldn't focus on life for a while. I was even more shut in. I couldn't play any games. I didn't really want to talk. I've had people who wanted to date me afterward, and I couldn't. Take your time. You don't want that. Like I said, heartbreak is not a fun thing. Alright, what do we got? Alright, that's a 36 now. Probably gonna get off here shortly. It's going on 9. I'm probably going to play a little bit for myself, but I'm probably gonna stop streaming. So I'm probably gonna wait for Infamy to return so I can let him know so he doesn't just see that I'm done, but yeah, I'm gonna get off here. I'm probably gonna still play a little bit, but I want to relax. I want to take this off my head for one, and I want to be able to just relax. I normally like to stream for a couple hours. When I get into a groove and I'm not tired, I'll definitely will stream longer. Like the other day I streamed PSO for almost 7 hours, which is my longest stream in a long while, because normally my streams used to be... I don't know if you remember too much when you used to come in most of the time. I used to stream like 12 to 14 hour streams. I'm sure you were there for a lot of that, Jabronic. At least I remember you being there for a lot of Monster Hunter? Or was it PSO most of the time? Either way, both of those games were the ones that exceeded the 12-hour stream range. And that's what got me. PSO specifically is actually what got me to where I'm at now. So I definitely believe you were there for a lot of those. But it's been a while since you've been here. At least I think. I haven't seen you chat in a while. But I'm sure with PSO's return, a lot of you guys are going to be coming in. So I have not seen a good chunk of my old lovelies in a long time. Yeah, see I think my friend must be either tired from work or he's with his family, otherwise we would have played. I think that was his intent. But he said he got a new job, which is, he works from like midnight to like, or not midnight, Jesus. He works till like 2 or 3 in the morning or something. I forgot what he said it was. He's definitely not going to be able to stream anymore with that and his family. Which kind of sucks, so our co-op's probably going to die out for a while. But it's good though, he's got another job now. Because he was supposed to return a while ago when he says his last job ended, but then it didn't. So, whatever. It's no big deal. I know he's busy, man. Busier than me, he's got a family. My eyes hurt like hell. Ow. Don't know why I'm so tired. So what's good, guys? Let's chat a little bit before I go. Join me tomorrow, though, for some Demon Souls and PSO, if I'm up to playing PSO afterward. But definitely gonna do some Demon Souls. And then next week, I'm kicking back my schedule up again. I just got in a big PSO mood. It's what happens when I play my favorite game after like several months, or a game that I really like. I'll just get into the mood of it. I could just watch a video of a game I love and then immediately want to play it. And then I play it for months. Like when I was playing Final Fantasy, I nearly 100%ed 10. And then I immediately went into 10-2, and I'm almost 100%ing that. That's how much I was playing Final Fantasy 10 and 10-2 when I first bought them on the Switch. I literally played it non-stop. That's why I wasn't streaming for several months. It's because not only was work getting busier, but I also took time to relax. And I was constantly just playing Final Fantasy for a while. You're halfway through your shift. Holy crap. What time do you start? How long do you work for? Like a normal 8-hour shift or longer? I mean, I don't know what time zone you're in, but damn. That's how I feel when I go to work. It's like, oh my god, it's only noon. I'm only halfway done. Oh. However, though, with the work I do, moving shit onto shelves and shit, you basically just walk around the warehouse back and forth. 4:30 to 1 in the morning. Damn, that's a long... Ugh. That's too late for me. I prefer early shift. Oh, okay, you're in the same time zone as me? Alright, cool. We both are EST. Cool. Yeah, that's a long shift. Well, I mean, it is a long shift, but however, it's a little late for my liking. I prefer the morning shift. So I work from 7 to 3:30. Sometimes 6 to 2:30 if Saturdays are open. But yeah. From 8 hours a day moving shit to shelves day in and day out, time flies when you're moving around like that because you're basically just focusing on your work. You're not standing in one spot like at Chick-fil-A where you had a clock in your face and you're just standing there for 8 hours a day. That dragged ass. Here, I can pull 3 or 4 pallets and then a few hours go by like that. And before you know it, it's like time to go or whatever. But sometimes it does drag ass. Like when my first break is at 10 o'clock. I go outside, have a cigarette, and then I come back in, and then I go on my lunch break at 11:50 to 12:20. That's my 30-minute lunch. And then my last break is at 2:30, and the longest is the 7 to 10 hours, the first break. And then after that, the longest is basically lunch to 2:30, which is my last break, and those are like the longest stretch. But other than that, once you're moving about, not focusing on a clock, it flies. It really does fly. But yeah, sorry guys, I'm gonna get off for the night. I'm tired. I've been very tired. I felt like I had no sleep at all, even though I did. So I'm just going to go lay down. I'm gonna rest my eyes. I'm probably gonna play a bit of PSO for myself though. But I'm gonna stop streaming and I'm gonna go relax a bit. I'm going to take this off my head because my head hurts from this. I don't know why I feel so tired. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to get some sleep tonight because I haven't been sleeping the best the past couple days. But yeah, tomorrow join me for some Demon Souls. If I am not tired, I will play PSO afterward. The only reason why I stopped play PSO these past couple days is because I just wasn't feeling playing Dragon Ball Fusions on the 3DS. I wasn't feeling whatever else, Phantasy Star 2. And I got into a big mood for play PSO again. So it is going to make a big resurgence. It's back. PSO is back again. For anyone who's been part of my streams knows that PSO comes and goes. I play it for several months at a time or, whatever, and then it goes away for a while. It will always return. It's my main staple. I mean, my main icon is a HBR, for Christ's sake. The title of following me is known as the Hunter's Guild, so like everything is PSO related. There's even a currency in-game or on-stream or in-chat currency called Meseta. So right now, Infamy, even though you're newer, you are currently making Meseta, which is basically allows you to redeem it for, say, I don't know, music requests, game requests, stuff like that. If you click on like my screen or whatever, you'll see like a red drop box. You can click that and you can redeem your in-chat currency for benefits like music requests and game requests. You can request me to play a game. Yeah, I've had a few people request me play stuff already. The command for it though is MESETA. Exclamation point Meseta. It'll literally show you your rank because there's a ranking system I inputted into my chat bot, which is based off Dragon Ball Z. And then it shows you your hours and the amount of money you earned. And then on my screen, if you click on, or if you move your mouse to the actual screen, you'll see like a red box appear somewhere. You can click that and redeem your hard-earned money for. Also, every 10-ish minutes or so, a red box will appear on screen. I'm not sure if that broke. I haven't seen it in a while. If you guys seen it, let me know. Every 10 minutes or more or so, a red box will just randomly appear on screen, and you click on that and you earn some Meseta from that as well. I'm sure you guys know a lot of the ins and outs of Twitch and stuff, but yeah. Feel free to join the Discord. I'm going to link that again. And feel free to subscribe or follow if you guys enjoy and you want to see more content. I love y'all. Thank you for joining. See you tomorrow. Same time as usual. Thank you, Infamy, for the talk. I actually kind of needed it. It's been a while since I've had someone to actually listen to me. Not that I'm depressed. It's nice to have someone to actually listen, talk to me and actually listen to me. I talk to my friends about my problems all the time. They heard everything, so it's like there's really nothing to really say about it. But it's nice to have someone new that I don't know that would actually have an ear open. So thank you for that. If I knew you in my personal life during those crises, you would have been a big help, I assure you. And good luck on your future relationships, my man. If you have any issues, I'm always here. Feel free to direct message me if you have any problems. Take care.